Due to the enormous level of poverty in Mexico, many Mexican workers make the choice to leave their families to cross the border in the United States in search for a better life. Sadly, once here, they face unstable working conditions, poverty, and the fear of incarceration and deportation. According to the Pew Hispanic Center, as of 2011, there are 11 million illegal immigrants in the United States, with Mexicans making up 58% of the undocumented population. Without some sort of immigration reform, undocumented immigrants will continue to be put in situations that will leave them vulnerable. Even before the journey to come to the U.S. begins, immigrants must save up enough money to pay a coyote, a person to help them come to the U.S. illegally. The typical cost is from a few thousand to many $1,000s, and for most Mexicans, this is their life savings. In addition, due to the numerous numbers of Border Patrol agents, the guide will often lead the immigrants through remote and unsafe areas. In 1994, U.S. authorities confirmed 24 people died while attempting to cross the border, and in 2005, 500 immigrants were confirmed dead. The sad fact is that many Mexican immigrants are willing to risk their lives in order to have a better life. Once in the U.S., undocumented immigrants must find some sort of employment. Undocumented immigrants, such as Mexicans, work in many different areas in the United States. Most of these undocumented workers work at low-wage jobs and at jobs that most Americans will not work or do not want to work. Many undocumented workers find positions in day labor where they will meet in a public place such as a gas station, a street corner, or a parking lot. They're typically employed for 1 to 3 days. Though many Mexican immigrants find some sort of employment, undocumented immigrants' wages are still much lower than those of legal immigrants. Due to the wages being lower for undocumented immigrants, poverty has become an increasingly large issue. The Pew Hispanic Center reports that 33% of undocumented Mexicans live in poverty. Sadly, due to restrictions by federal and local governments, many undocumented immigrants are unable to access most social services. So many undocumented Mexicans go from living in one form of poverty to living in another. Another large issue that impacts undocumented Mexicans is the risk of being put in jail or deported. Though putting undocumented immigrants in jail and deporting them is not a new idea, it is largely what is happening in the U.S. In 2005, federal policies like Operation Streamline, passed by the Bush administration, allowed border crossers to be prosecuted in criminal courts and incarcerated as a result. Currently, over 24,000 individuals are incarcerated for immigration crimes or violations. There is hope. Franklin Roosevelt said that the test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, it is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. Interventions are needed. One such intervention is suggested that there is a more legal way for people to enter the U.S., such as a non-citizens guest worker program. Another intervention could be that Congress passes a law of some level of amnesty to undocumented immigrants that are currently living in the U.S. And still another is that social workers come up with creative solutions in order to help undocumented immigrants access privately funded or state public funded assistance programs that do not require eligibility. As social workers, we take the strengths perspective, which assumes that every individual, family, and community has strengths. By implementing interventions such as a non-citizen guest pass, offering amnesty, connecting undocumented workers with ethical employment, and creating solutions for undocumented workers that are unable to access government benefits, we are implementing interventions to empower this vulnerable population.